Hello to my Twister and USA competition family. I want to thank each of you for being the caring, supporting person that you are and for reaching out to ask for ways to support our children and parents within our Twister community as well as our broader, larger community and how to cope with the tragedy that we have all experienced over the past week. One of the things that you can do as a coach or somebody working within Twisters who interacts with anybody, whether it be a parent or a child, is to listen. If they bring up the incident in any manner whatsoever, listen to what they have to share. Be sure that when they are sharing that you give them your eye contact, undivided attention, nod your head, let them know that you are hearing them, and then paraphrase back what they shared so that they can be sure that they were understood. That alone is immensely, probably the number one thing that you can do to support them. Um, Besides that, offering some sort of comfort. It can be something as simple as a hand squeeze or a pat on the back or a side hug, letting them know that you care. And you can use those words. I really care about you. I'm sorry to hear that you were so scared, or I'm sorry to hear that you are hurting now. I'm here for you. Those words alone are very powerful and will help give that person, whether it's a child or an adult, a sense that there's somebody there for them and that they don't have to get through this alone. Within my time working with the kids last week at the gym, when I met with them, many of them were struggling with feeling afraid. And I'm sure that this is even broader with the parents. And so you can reassure them that they are safe when they're at Twisters. You can let them know all of the ways that our community helps to keep them safe while they're here with us. That sense of comfort and confidence will help that child or parent know that at least for the hour or hours that they are with us, that we are prepared to do what we need to, and we will do what we need to protect them, and we care about them. And then further on, many of the children wanted to talk about ways to feel safer at school. So if this comes up because the violence happened at a school, the children are thinking about the violence happening at their school, even if they weren't at that school. So allowing them to speak to that, allowing them to express the things within their school that they feel maybe aren't safe, asking them what would make that safe. And if they identify what would make it safe, encouraging them to share that with a parent, a teacher, a principal, and kind of helping them build momentum to take steps to make changes to make that part of their school safer. That will empower the child or the parent into feeling that this isn't something that we have to just accept or be a victim and stand by and let happen to us. It will give them a sense of hope and control over a senseless situation where we didn't feel that way. This is also a time where many of us have our opinions on what would keep a school safe or about gun laws or politicians. This is probably not the time for you to share your personal beliefs on that. You have to remember that when you're there as a supporter, it's more important that you listen and you acknowledge their point of view and you let them know that it's been heard and that it's a good one, whether or not you agree with it, and help them take the steps that they need to take to perhaps make the changes that they're hoping to make. When you yourself are processing this, which is important to do, make sure that you have somebody that you can talk to, because it's a lot to take in when you're listening to everybody else's grief and fears and anxieties, because you already have your own and then you take theirs on. So you have to have almost like a dump, if you will, to kind of spill your dump truck so that it's empty and you're ready for the next day when more comes in. So that would be a time for you to share your feelings and maybe views on political things, but not while you're in the role of supporting others. Um, for those dealing with families that have lost somebody from this tragedy, allow that person to express what they're feeling if they begin to talk about it. Remember that all emotions are normal during times like this, from confusion, numbness, anger, sadness, you name it's a broad spectrum. With children especially, the feelings will come and go quickly. They may feel very sad one minute and then giggly happy the next. And this carries on throughout. It's not just young childhood. You'll see this even with the teenagers that you work with. Um, Encourage them, and let them know it's okay to be happy. If you see them, feel maybe guilty for feeling happy when they should be in their mind feeling sad, let them know that that's normal and it's good. And when I was working with many of the girls last week who had known classmates who had passed away, I let them know that one of the best things that they could do for themselves and for the ones that they lost was to go to their competition this weekend and to live life, because these children weren't able to do that anymore. And one of the best things that they could do for them would be to do what these people have had taken away from them. So the same goes for their emotions. When they're doing something that gives them a sense of joy, fabulous. Let them enjoy that. Let them feel that, and be patient with them. Grief is not something that has a specific set time. There may be times where they seem great, and then all of a sudden they're not great. Just understand that that's part of the healing process, and each person is different, and the timeline for everybody is different. So the best thing you can do is be supportive and patient through that process. If they have a lot and they seem to need to express it, be a good listener. If they're a quiet child or a little withdrawn and they're not expressing a lot, you might suggest to them to express their emotions through music or writing. I know a lot of the kids have used social media to write tributes to their lost ones, and to remember them through pictures. Any kind of way that they can help process will be extremely beneficial to them. Many of the children we work with are athletes, so channeling their emotions through action, whether it's really pushing through a difficult conditioning rotation, those kinds of things help sometimes fill the emotional experience and get it out through a physical means, which is very, very therapeutic for them. Help them think of ways to remember the person they lost. The girls at the meets this weekend were ribbons in their hair that was made by one of the moms in the school colors. And, there was vigils held, and dancers competed this past weekend and wore an orange ribbon for one of the girls who passed away, who was a dancer in the community. So there's many things that they can do to honor those lost and remember them, so that they don't have to feel that living their life is forgetting these people. Let them, one of the things that many of the girls that didn't directly lose someone but were close with someone who lost someone wanted to know, how do I support my friend? So tell the kids, if they bring that up to you, some of the things that we're doing for the kids who are coming to us, to be good listeners, to give their friend a hug, to let their friend know that they're loved and that they're cared about and that they're there for them. These are things that seem small, but they're probably the most powerful things that the kids who want to support a friend who's lost somebody can do for them. Saying, I'm here for you, or I love you, or if you need anything, give me a call.